MacVoices TV at Macworld 2010 is sponsored by Data Robotics, the makers of Drobo and Drobo S, the world's best data storage experience. This is MacVoices TV on the show floor at Macworld 2010. I'm Chuck Joyner, and I'm in the Omni booth talking to Brian Covey of the Omni Group. Brian, welcome to MacVoices TV.
Thank you very much. It's great to be here. It's great to be at the show.
It's great to see you here with a big booth and showing all kind of cool stuff.
Yeah, we got a lot of stuff coming this year. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a crazy amount of work, but I think the big news that we're excited to talk to people about is we're bringing all of our productivity applications to the iPad. So OmniGraffle, OmniOutliner, OmniGraphSketcher, OmniPlan, and OmniFocus are all going to be there as soon as we can possibly get them there, because it's going to be a lot of fun. We've done a lot of 1-finger and 2-finger touch interfaces, but now we have the opportunity to do like 10-finger touch interfaces. So we're having a lot of fun walking around waving our fingers like Aardman cartoons. So
it's been interesting to watch you all go from the desktop. You created a stir when you went to the iPhone because now all these productivity apps could be in everyone's hands all the time. Now you're about to take it a different direction to the iPad, which would seem to be an even better platform for what you do.
Yeah, I think we sort of collectively were expecting Apple to show off a really cool, really well-designed like iTunes accessory, like media playback. And they did their demo and they showed it running numbers, they showed it running pages, and we're like, all right, this thing's got some horsepower under the hood. Let's go. We can do this. Like, let's bring our apps. So, yeah.
That's good. Everybody's obviously going to want to know how soon can we expect this stuff, but I'm not going to do that to you. I'm going to just ask, are you looking just to basically ramp up existing iPhone apps, or are you looking at new versions with new capabilities for the iPad?
Yeah, we have one existing iPhone app, and we are going to, so that's OmniFocus for the iPhone, and we're going to bring that to the iPad, which means redesigning the interface. Graffle, GraphSketcher, Outliner, and OmniPlan haven't been on those platforms before. We're going to bring those to the iPad, and then I think once we all get that done and collectively catch our breath, figure out which of those we want to move down to the phone as well, because there's a lot of things they share in common, but the different sizes of the screen and amounts of screen real estate you have in both places means you can't. At least I'm not smart enough to figure out a way to make one interface that works equally well on both of the devices. So we're going to take the step from the Mac down to the iPad, except in the case of OmniFocus, which we're going to bring up from the iPhone, and then sort of see which ones get pushed all the way, both directions. So,
from a developer standpoint, it's interesting to hear you take that approach, because I think we're all looking at this trying to figure out, okay, what is the best way to utilize the new space? Is it just to take existing iPhone apps and maybe blow them up a little bit, which in some cases will work well, in other cases is just going to not be taking advantage of what we have now.
Yeah, I mean, the amazing thing about the iPad is you can do motions and movements that don't make as much sense on the phone. Like you can do a twist motion, which for Graffle, if somebody needs to rotate a shape, this is something very natural that people understand. That said, I'm not actually working on the Graffle team, so if they come up with something else even cooler, it's not because of me. Yeah, there's a lot of opportunities, and it's going to be a lot of fun figuring it all out. So.
That's great. How about the desktop apps? I mean, they just seem to keep evolving. Yep. We're naturally talking about the new cool stuff, but the legacy stuff is just as cool and doing real well.
Yeah, exactly. We are one of the things that we are in the process of doing is we had a pretty full schedule for this year, so we're figuring out how do we make sure that we get everything onto the iPad while not holding up any of our existing Mac apps from development any more than absolutely necessary. So we're taking a look. We're kind of in the middle of our work on OmniOutliner 4, which is the next big I think app. Well, we've got OmniOutliner 4, we've got OmniPlan 2, we've got OmniFocus 2. We're all in midstream, so we're reassessing all of our plans, but we want to do so we can get everything onto the iPad while still getting stuff that people want to them on the Mac, because we're still just as committed to the Mac. We've got a couple of emails saying, are you guys like not doing anything for the Mac anymore? We're gonna keep doing stuff for the Mac. It's just that now we got a whole other platform that we get to put stuff into as well. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
Well, and you also have this little detail that as soon as you implement something on the Mac, they're going to want it on the iPhone if it's there, and on the iPad when it gets there. So you're going to have 3 platforms to keep in parity, and that's going to be a challenge.
Yeah, it's going to be a big challenge because I don't think we actually want to bring everything from the desktop apps to the mobile devices, because especially as that screen gets a little smaller, like all of that real estate you have gets that much more precious. And what we don't want to do is fill up the entire screen with, a bunch of widgets that people don't actually need, except for, we need to basically figure out what are the essential things that people want to be able to do and need to do, and get those in there. And I think the Mac apps are going to be the ones where everything is possible, and you'll be able to do the things you actually need to do on the go on the iPad apps in a way that makes sense.
I mean, we're in such a transitional time, but it's really interesting to hear that. I know there are going to be those people that think that the iPad is a mobile Mac or a tablet Mac. It's not. It's not supposed to be. So it makes sense to take some of your sophisticated programs, pare them down. May not be exactly the best phrase, but that's a simplify.
Try to get them down. Try to get them down to the simplest possible thing that still lets you get work done, because you don't need the extra complications. You don't need the extra. I'm waving my fingers again because that's what we all are going to end up doing. But you need to be able to get stuff done on the go. But I think people are going to be surprised. You know, it's like Mail on the iPhone. It doesn't do everything that Mail on the Mac does, and I don't want it to, because it would be an unusable mess. So you got to figure out which are the things that are going to really help people get the work done as they're off to do a presentation or whatever it is that they're doing, where they don't have time to go back to the office and sit there for half an hour. So we want to give everybody the essential tools, and of course we're always listening to the stuff that people tell us they need. So if we happen to leave something out that you really, really need, let us know, and we can try to roll it into the next release. So.
Judging by the people I know, a lot of folks are going to say we want everything on all devices as soon as you can do it.
Yeah, and
and that's not realistic.
We are expecting to get a lot of that, and we are also expecting to go, you don't actually want that. You want, what do you really want? What do you really need? Because let's give you that in a way that you're actually going to enjoy, and build on that. You know, because if we gave you everything, you wouldn't actually. You'd hate it. You'd hate it, and you'd hate us. So.
And that's something we as users are going to have to start to learn, is that we don't want everything. We think we do, but we don't.
Yeah. It's well, I mean, and there are the things that people actually absolutely do need, but everything I don't think is going to be that very often. Just because you don't need to get 10 things out of your way to get to the one thing you do need. So. Yeah.
Brian, thanks for taking the time. I know it's a busy show. I hope you've had a good one. I hope everything keeps up for you.
It's been great. Thank you very much.
Great. Thanks so much. Take care.
Take care.
I'm Chuck Joyner. That's it from the Omni booth at Macworld 2010 on the show floor. We'll be back soon with more from San Francisco. Thanks for watching. MacVoices TV at Macworld 2010 is sponsored by Data Robotics, the makers of Drobo and Drobo S, the world's best data storage experience. MacVoices TV is part of the MacVoices Group and a member of Mac Level 10.